Hey guys, Ryan here. So I have a brand new video for you guys. This is going to be my entire One Piece collection. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so a little bit of backstory is that I've known about One Piece for a really long time, right? And I've known about it ever since I was in preschool when I was like 3 or 4 years old to 5 years old. And it was in my first Shonen Jump magazine, which I got from the Scholastic kind of book fair, and that got me into Dragon Ball Z. Kids were into Dragon Ball Z mainly in my preschool, not so much One Piece. In fact, they would bring action figures to this school, which was neat, and I was kind of jealous of one kid named Nick because he had an action figure of Frieza, and he had like so many awesome Dragon Ball Z figures. But yeah, it's kind of cool coming full circle with that, with making stop motion videos with Dragon Ball Z and anime and stuff. But yeah, so basically back to One Piece. So I've known about One Piece for a quite long time, and yeah, I got into it in the year of 2017, and I got hooked by the second episode that I watched. And I've been a fan ever since. So, yeah. That's a little bit of backstory of how I got into One Piece. I heard this song. It's a really awesome song. It's like the strongest... I'm trying to remember what it was called, but it was this really awesome One Piece song, and yeah, so... that kind of caught my interest, and then I tried out the anime, got the manga box sets, and I've been a fan ever since. So yeah. Alright, so we're going to start off with One Piece Volume 1. So, this is where it all starts, of course, and there's going to be a new anime, and there's going to be a new anime called The One Piece, so that's awesome, and it'll have like even better pacing, like closer to the manga, and it will it'll be just a new animation with the current animation quality, which will be awesome to see the very start of One Piece in current animation quality. So yeah. Alright, so we have Luffy, the main character, of course, Zoro, the first crewmate, Nami, the kind of leader of maps and navigation. So, yep, that is Volume 1. That is Romance Dawn for One Piece. Later on, there's Romance Dawn for the New World, which is a later segment of One Piece. But, yeah, the art style is lovely. Oda had such a big, expansive world. And I heard an interesting fact, actually, so I'll just say it now. So that's Volume 1. So, Oda doesn't kill off the villains in One Piece because he really wants them to feel that defeat of Luffy winning and continuing to win throughout One Piece. So that's kind of an interesting fact. But, yeah, here is Volume 2 with Buggy and his crew. The first villain you see is Alvida, and then you see is actually, let me back up a little bit. So the first villain you see is Alvida, and she in the anime they're on a ship, but in the manga they're actually on an island. So that's kind of a difference there, which is interesting to see. So yeah, there's Alvida first, then Captain Morgan, Axe Hand Morgan, and then Buggy the Clown. And Buggy the Clown can separate his body parts, and he has deadly crewmates, and they're after the One Piece. And Buggy wants to be king of the pirates just like Luffy does. And they all have really interesting ambitions and dreams. Like, for example, Zoro wants to become the greatest swordsman in the Grand Line. and in the entire world of One Piece. And Nami wants to chart the whole world, make a map of the whole world. She's great at that. And Luffy wants to become king of the pirates. So I'll keep telling each of the new crewmates their goals and their ambitions as we go along, so that I explain it properly and in the order of sequence of events. So on the back of this volume we have Luffy giving a peace sign for volume 2. It's very fitting. And like at one point Luffy's in a cage and Zoro has to like lift him up and carry him around, even though it's really strenuous. But you know, Zoro's strong, so he can do it. Alright, next up we got is volume 3 with the gold and red coat of Luffy, which looks really cool. We have Zoro and Luffy here. We have Luffy opening up his hands to the world. He has really cool devil fruit powers. So as a boy, he eats the Gum Gum devil fruit. And it's in a chest. And yeah. So that happens. And then from then on, Luffy can't swim in water, and he has really stretchy body parts that can stretch pretty much as far as he can think. And he can stretch as pretty much as far as he can, you know, try. So yeah. Alright, so we have volume 4 of One Piece with the Black Cat Pirates with Klahadore, or aka Captain Kuro, the real villain in this little arc. This is where we get to see Usopp for the first time, which is really cool. And his backstory, like with the town, him being known as the town liar, was kind of hilarious. How every day he'd be like, "There's pirates, pirates," and then the townspeople would come out and there's no pirates. And then they'd all chase him down, and then he'd escape, and he'd do that every day until real pirates actually came. So that's interesting. But yeah, I like the story between Usopp and Kaya, how she's like the sick girl, and Klahadore is taking care of her, you know, like pretending to be good when she's really bad. So that's all interesting, especially the fight scene between Luffy and the Black Cat Pirates, how it's like all on this hill, and they're trying to stop them from, you know, hurting the townspeople and taking out Kaya for good. So yeah, there's the back of the volume with Luffy and the flag stepping forward into the world. Next up we got is volume 5 with Kaya, Usopp's first crew, the kids. They actually help out in this little arc. They actually help so that I think it was like Usopp, so he can like shoot Django, who's trying to take out Kaya for good. But yeah, there's that volume. Luffy's eating ice cream. He loves food, of course, like Goku. Alright, so we are in the East Blue Saga, which is the very start of One Piece. So, yeah, we have Zoro, Luffy, Nami, and Usopp with a black cat, and they're wearing black suits and a dress for Nami. And that's fun seeing like different outfits for them to wear. And then on the back we have Luffy jumping into the water with a bunch of floaties because he can't swim. That's kind of funny. Alright, next up, Volume 7. This is the Barati arc where we meet Sanji, the cook of the crew. Now, it's interesting how each crewmate joins the crew in different ways and the way the story is told and stuff. But, yeah, so we have like the Chef Zeph. He's really cool. He's a really strong pirate who's done being a pirate and is trying to run a island restaurant for pirates, and whoever would want to pay for some food while on the ocean. And yeah, we have Luffy there on the back. Looks really nice. Alright, so we have volume 8, and we have Luffy eating some meat on the back, and then we got Don Krieg on the front with his crew who try and take down Luffy and the Baratie, but the cooks in Sanji and Chef Zeph won't let that happen. At least not without a fight. So, yeah. But Luffy really perseveres and pushes through and beats Don Krieg, luckily. Alright, next up we got is volume 9. Alright, and yeah, so we got Nami's backstory in this, where she grew up with her mother and Nojiko, her sister, and yeah, emotional stuff. One Piece does storytelling so well, and the backstories told really expand the story, really give more meaning to the characters and what drives them, their goals, ambitions, and dreams and stuff. And the walk to Arlong Park with the fishermen, such a cool moment. And when Luffy puts his straw hat onto Nami and goes and fights Arlong and stuff, and you know, he beats him, that was really cool storytelling. So yeah, we have Arlong there, of course, the fishermen, Luffy in the middle, and then we have the artwork here on the back of the first manga box set, which is on the front of it for One Piece. So there's that. It's cool to see that in full, with the full characters from top to bottom. But yeah, it's interesting because like the fisherman can swim underwater, and Sanji's fighting a fisherman underwater. It's pretty high stakes, for sure, in One Piece. But Luffy destroys Arlong Park for good. So yeah. But that's not the last you see of the fisherman in this story. Alright, next up we got is volume 11. So there they are with the pink couch for the Netflix show, actually, which I hadn't talked about yet today. So it's interesting because they actually did a photo shoot with a couch, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And they're beginning production on season 2, filming in another country. So that's cool. And the Netflix show was like definitely a pleasant surprise for me. Like I knew about it, wasn't really on my radar. I watched it, loved it, can't wait for season 2. Alright, so yeah, we have Luffy with the Going Merry on the back. Love this pink volume with the pink couch. Very cool. Alright, that's it for East Blue. Now we're on to Baroque Works with volume 12. So, there it is. This is where we go to Rogue Town or Logue Town, depending on which version you're reading or watching, whether it's Japanese or English or another language. And so yeah, there's volume 12 with them with a bunch of money running from Marines probably. So yeah. Alright, so moving on here, we got volume 12, which is the very start of Baroque Works. And yeah, so the crew at this point, which includes Luffy, of course, because he's the captain. Then we have Sanji, we have Nami, we have Usopp, and we have Zoro. So, for this, they all kind of segment and put down their feet on this barrel and say what their dreams are, which is really cool. And they kind of like go into the Grand Line, which is like kind of where the One Piece could potentially be somewhere for that. So yeah. Alright. That's volume 12. Moving on here, we got volume 13. We have the agents that work for Sir Crocodile, who's really a villain, but pretending to be a hero of Alabasta, which is wrong, totally wrong. And yeah, this arc is really cool. Oda actually thought that the story was only going to go till Baroque work ended, but that clearly didn't happen. We have much more One Piece, which is awesome. So yeah, we have Vivi in the corner over here, and yeah, she is actually a princess of Alabasta, and she's in disguise at this point in time. So yeah, and then we have Luffy with a fish, which he's caught with some meat. So that's kind of interesting. It's kind of fun. Alright, next up we got is volume 14 with Mr. 3 and then the girl who can paint. I thought originally that she had devil fruit powers, but she actually can she can just paint. That's what she does. So yeah. Yeah, Vivi is good enough to be a Straw Hat in my opinion. She's a great character. So yep. And then there's the back with Nami and a bird. Alright, next up we got is volume 15. So, this has Usopp and the Elbaf giants. Cannot wait till we get to Elbaf in One Piece with the Giants Island, which I'm guessing will be the biggest island yet, because of how big the Elbaf people are and just in general. So, yeah. Alright, so this is cool though because Usopp gets really inspired by these giants to become a brave warrior of the sea. And these giants are like battling each other for hundreds of years and stuff. And it really inspires Usopp to be a brave warrior. Alright, so we have volume 16 here. And we got the Doctor. This is where we meet Chopper for the first time and get his backstory with the flower petals that are pink. And on the back we have Nami and Vivi. So that's a cool illustration there. That was actually an illustration that was in a Shonen Jump magazine back in the day. I would get Shonen Jump magazines, and they would come in the mail every month, and you get to read series like Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball, stuff like that. And this color page was in there of these two, I remember, because I collected them as a kid, and then I bought somebody's collection for like 40 bucks, and I got like 70 magazines for it, which is awesome. But anyways, we're moving on here to volume 17 with Wapple, the villain of this Drum Island arc. And yeah, it gets interesting because there's like an avalanche that happens. Sanji and Luffy get saved by Chopper and the Doctor Lady. And yeah, so I love it. And on the back, we got Vivi, and then Luffy and a giant dog. Alright, next up we got is volume 18. So, this is Fire Fist Ace, Luffy's brother. We get to see him for the first time at this point in time. And he has a really cool introduction. Takes down a bunch of like marine ships or pirate ships or something like that, and he is a really cool character. And his flame fruit powers are really cool. So great to see Ace there for the first time in the series. And they're trying to reach the kingdom and stop this war from happening. That's plotted by Sir Crocodile. And Vivi's with them and stuff. So, yep. Alright, next up we got, it's volume 19 with Cobra, and which is the king, but there's this devil fruit user who can transform to look like people if he touches them. And if he does that, then he can transform to look like them and talk like them too and stuff. Which is pretty menacing devil fruit power, I have to say. But yeah, we have Luffy making a face like Sanji, which is funny. And yeah, so for the One Piece live action, they have, oh yeah, on the back, I gotta show the back. They've announced a lot of the characters for Season 2, which is the Baroque Work arc. So it'll have a huge cast of characters, I can already tell. So, yeah. Alright. We are at volume 20. So, there is Karu in the middle, Smoker, the Marine that's after Luffy, who works with Tashigi, her as well. She's also after Luffy. We have Crocodile, Cobra, and then the leader of the rebels, which is Vivi's old childhood friend. And then we got the back with a hippopotamus and Luffy, Zoro, and Usopp with the giant gun. Nice. Alright. So this is cool. Alright, so we have volume 21. We got volume 22. Alright, so next up we got is volume 21 and 22, where it has the heroes and the villains, including Nico Robin, who actually turns to a hero. She turns good. So, yeah. Alright, we have the last volume of Baroque Works, which is volume 23 with Vivi. It has Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Chopper, Sanji, and all their fights that happened in this. Zoro's fight between the man with Pure Steel, and he cuts Pure Steel down, was so cool. So, yeah. Really emotional stuff, the finale for this. A lot leading up to it. And early on in Baroque Work, they actually write X on their arms, and they put a wristband, a white wristband over it, and tie it. And then at the end, when Vivi and the Straw Hats are saying farewell, they all lift their arms up, take off the white cloth, and then show X on their arms and show what solid friends they are, and companions and stuff, and friendship. So, yeah.